Welcome, family. At Kingdom Academy, we equip parents in spiritual warfare training so you can raise up your children as spirit warriors, well prepared to stand against the principalities and powers of darkness. Your children are your legacy stones. Your legacy stones are not just something physical or financial, but they are eternal. And this eternal legacy is the most valuable legacy, as this will be the one that affects your children's lives the most, and in so doing, will affect the world. Look at the legacy Jesus left. He lived his life as a living example for us to imitate. He is the Word, and he came as a living example of the Word. And he did that so that we would know what and how to imitate. And that's what you are supposed to do as a parent with your young disciples. You live that example of the Word. You don't just preach it and teach it, you live it. So live your life so that your children, in imitating you, will glorify the Father. What do you want your children to say about you when you're gone? She was strict. He was fun. Our parents gave us great memories. I mean, that can be nice, but how about mom loved the Lord and laid her life down daily for him, and she served others with the love of the Father. Dad found his strength in the Lord, and so often we would find him digging deep into the Word. What examples are you teaching? By example. What are your children seeing you do? What ways do you respond to situations, stressful, difficult, hurtful? Do you respond in your flesh, as so many of us tend to do, or by surrendering it to the Lord, which this is a work. This takes relationship building with the Father to get to this place where we're not responding in the flesh, but surrendering to the Lord. This is a journey for you as the parents too. You are growing as well, but it is your heart and your heart's response in relation to your relationship with the Lord that will be what sticks with your children the most, and that leaves a legacy that will have a godly and eternal effect on them. So you will leave a legacy, whether you choose to or not. But if you are not intentional in doing so, if you're not intentional in your walk with the Lord, and you're just living life to get by and make good memories, you will leave a legacy that may not have the impact you desire. Sure, you can give your children good memories, but what are good memories without lessons? What are good memories without relationship with the Father? If you are not seeking first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, you may unintentionally be leaving a legacy that you actually don't desire to leave. One of worry and stress, one of response of the flesh to situations, one of worldly pleasure and wealth, one of poverty and suffering. In any one of those situations, you can choose to leave a different legacy by shifting your eyes and obedience to the Lord, even over the desires of your own will and your own comfort. Think of the legacy your parents have left you. What are your memories about them? Do you recall their weaknesses only? Or do you recall their love and trust in the Lord, even in the midst of the storms? Or perhaps you just remember a lot of fun, vacations, and pleasure, and yeah, you went to church on Sunday, but that's about it. You see, children won't remember the small stints of passion you might have had for the Lord, but they will remember what you walked in fervently, what endured the storms. They will recall your willingness to lay aside your own will for the will of the Lord. These legacies are the legacies that will birth in them a passion and strength in the Lord to leave similar legacies themselves. A worldly legacy is one of things: wealth, fun, gifts, toys, and financial success. But a godly legacy is one of the Spirit, of relationship with the Father, living the Word, surrender, and obedience to the Lord at all costs. Be encouraged, parents. This is a choice, which means you can pivot. Choose you this day whom you will serve. Will you continue in the ways of the world? Will you continue in a worldly legacy, if you so are? Or will you begin building a new legacy, one where you draw near to God at all costs, even when? Many parents are afraid to make this change because they came from struggles or poverty or whatever it is that is the opposite of what they're currently providing may be. But this transformation, uncomfortable as it may be, will be the pivotal moment your child will remember the most. It will be your responses and reactions in your decisions that stick with them. So often we greatly fear to make the same mistakes our parents made. We don't want to repeat the things we grew up disliking. But interestingly enough, if we don't surrender to the Lord and live from the Spirit, we will do it anyway. So I want to encourage you, parents, get together if you're married and ask the Lord to give you guidance in laying an eternal foundation for an eternal legacy. Wait on the Lord. Be still. Listen. Rest in knowing that He will guide you in this. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about right now, I encourage you to sign up for our free Secret Place training course, which you can find in the link posted in the show notes. Thanks so much for joining this conversation with us. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a review. For episodes, offers, or guest information, please visit us at rainandjoy.com/Spiritware Academy or join us on Instagram at rainandjoy and click the link in the bio for access.